Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to talk about VIN 2605. This is a 2018 GSF they're asking $54,000 with 52,000 miles at a Ford dealer in Arizona. 2018 is the lowest production year for any of the GSFs for the US 49 state market. So basically everything except Hawaii. Now, when this car popped up, you can see that it does have a few modifications to it. It looks like mostly cosmetic. It's got the fender vent carbon fiber covers. It's got a black roof, it's got black wheels, and it has blue calipers. This car originally had the OEM BBS wheels that were the kind of the silver, the hand polished and gray wheels with orange calipers, and now it has black with blue calipers. So again, everything I see mostly cosmetic. Don't see any performance modifications or anything like that. So jumping into it, Carfax, Epic VIN, and AutoCheck all show it as a 3-owner, no accident vehicle. So that's good to see, no accidents. We'll dive into the service history, see if we see anything else. But so far, I don't see any red flags, green flags so far. Let's talk about the production information. First and foremost, this combination, which is 083 paint code, ultra white with the LA30, that is the most common combination for all of the years of the GSF. 2,347 were produced for the US 49 that I've identified. And of those 2,347, 647 of them were ultra white. So again, common. From those 647, 360 had the LA30 red interior. So again, most common combination. For 2018 specifically, 53 of the 169 cars were white. Of those 53, 30 had LA30 red interior. So this car is one of 30. So as far as GSFs go, this is a pretty common combination. When you see one that pops up that's white, chances are pretty good it's gonna have a red interior. This is no exception. Previous sales, January 2018 when it went on sale, $89,000 in Texas. April of 2021, it was for $61,000 still in Texas. December of 22, $63,000, so the price went up $2,000 in Oklahoma. Now it has black wheels and some of the modifications. And July 22nd, 2025 for $55,000 in Arizona. The price I think that they have listed for this is like spot on for the year. The mileage, everything, it's right where it should be for a 2018 in this market right now. So here we are, beginning of August 2025. So right here are some of the more recent sales of 2018s. There's not a lot of them. 2018s don't pop up for sale very often. So the data, you can't read too far into it, but if you look at the 2019s and the 2017s, I would say it's priced pretty spot on where it should be, considering it's a clean title, no accidents vehicle that overall looks very clean. Looking at the pictures pretty closely, it looks like the front end, especially like the carbon fiber, it has a lot of chips on it. The paint on the front, it's really hard to tell from the photos if there are imperfections in it. It may have paint protection film. So if you're looking at this car, if you're buying it from out of state, I would ask the salesman to say, hey, send me some pictures of the front close, like towards the edges, and you can see if you can see that clear film on the sides or not. It could have it, that's a possibility, but it's real common on these kits that they don't cover the carbon fiber when they do. My car was the same way. Mine had paint protection film on the front, but it didn't have that carbon fiber piece protected. So that carbon fiber piece was all chipped up on mine. And mine has 55,000 miles on it now. Looking at the inside, the bolster wear on the seat doesn't look bad at all. The seat bottoms, it really looks pretty well taken care of. Looking closely at the passenger front door on the carbon fiber, you can see it's just starting to delaminate, but the rest of the pieces look pretty good. So I, may have to set a little dollars aside, a few dollars aside for fixing that if that's going to bother you. But I think that once it starts, it's going to continue to grow pretty quick, and you're going to have an issue there where it's pretty unsightly to look at. Every time you look over in your mirror when you're changing lanes or something, you're gonna see it. Onto the service history, a few notes. The last time that this vehicle was serviced at a Lexus dealer was in July of 2023. So about 2 years and a month ago, so a little over 2 years that it's been serviced at a Lexus dealer. Not super uncommon, especially if it's the current owner, if they kind of did a DIY oil change, something like that. Changing oil on these is not difficult. The service history at the Lexus dealer, things I've noted here. The first entry in the service history is March of 2018. When it was new, it had the JLB fuel pump recall done, which is good to see. Probably the dealer couldn't sell it until that recall was done. 2018 is right around when that JLB, the high pressure fuel pump recall, came out. So as I said, the dealer probably couldn't sell it until that was completed. Also noted on that same service, probably related to a low battery. Very common on these cars when they came off the boat from Japan, they had a bad battery, and that Panasonic original battery just didn't cut it. And they noted that it was shifting funny, the dome lights were staying on, it was doing some weird things. And these cars do some weird things if that voltage gets low. So I wouldn't read too much into that, because it doesn't seem to be like later on in the service history, it doesn't present itself again. So not anything to worry about there. January 2019, the left front shock was leaking. You've heard me talk about this in other videos. The 17s to the 20s all had the adaptive damping shocks, and they had defective oil O-rings or oil seals inside the shocks, and they all will leak. Some of them have leaked as early as brand new. Like the dealer will prep the car for a new car sale, and the tech notes that one of the shocks is already leaking, but the car has 15 miles on it. Not unheard of. 5, 8, 10,000 miles, they're leaking. And it's unfortunate, but it does look like the updated part did fix the problem. They're not expensive parts to replace. There is a little labor involved, obviously. DIYer can definitely do it, but if you're gonna have it done at the dealer, it's gonna cost you a little more. So again, this car had it done January of 19. June of 19, hail damage repair and replaced one of the taillights. That is not reported on the Carfax, so it was either minor enough that it wasn't reported under insurance and therefore it goes on the Carfax or something like that, but there was previous hail damage to this car. September of 2019, there's a dent that was repaired. It just notes the dent. I would kind of assume it's repaired. August of 2021 at 23,000 miles, the left front shock was now replaced and the right rear shock as well. So we've got 3 out of the 4 that have now been replaced because they've been leaking at 23,000 miles already. September of 2022, 35,000 miles, the sunroof assembly. So there's a couple notes on the service history throughout this where they say the sunroof was rattling, making noise, and then the tech would go and look at it and couldn't find it to rattle, so therefore they couldn't do anything about it. This is kind of early on in the GSF history, so people didn't know that you just replace the sunroof seal and it'll generally stop the rattling. Well, what happened here is under warranty, they replaced the entire sunroof assembly. 5 hours of labor, you have to drop the headliner. It's probably a very expensive part, but that solved the issue. And it was probably unnecessary, but this car has an entire new sunroof assembly at 35,000 miles in September of 2022. At this same service, they also noted the HVAC issues, having problems with the servos. So there were stored codes, and all they did is just perform the servo sweep that I've talked about in other videos, which basically just sets the minimum and maximum position for all of the 5 servos under the dash. And that seemed to have resolved the issue because it hasn't been an issue on the service since then. My car's had the same problems, and the same thing was done to it. They did the servo sweep, they greased the rods, and I haven't had an issue since then. Again, common issue. November of 2022, 35,000 miles, so in 2 months, didn't drive it much. 35,000 miles, the upper left control arm was replaced for making noise. So something was wrong with the bushing, maybe you hit a curb and it wasn't reported, or something like that, but left front control arm was replaced. And the final service that was done at the Lexus dealer was in July of 2023, 41,000 miles, it was the 40,000 mile service. So that's the last service that's been done. That's just basically oil change and some in-depth inspections. Would I buy this vehicle if I was shopping for a GSF? I think I would. There's no really red flags where it's there's some story or something unreported other than maybe that hail damage, but from the pictures that I've seen, it looks really good overall. You have to remember, you're not buying a brand new car, so as time goes on here, you can't be as picky as you once were when it comes to these cars. You have to kind of let a little bit more slide. The front carbon fiber piece, yes, that's expensive. Here you can see that piece, to replace the whole piece right now, it's like $12,000. Very expensive part, but there is a company in Florida called SMA Fabrication. You can take it off or have your dealer or body shop or something take it off. You can send it to them, and for a couple $100, they'll refinish it like it's brand new. And then I would highly recommend putting paint protection film on top of it after that to prevent it from getting further chipped once again. Very expensive part, and it sucks that it's so expensive and they look so bad once they get chips and things like that on them. Another alternative you can do to that is you can buy the RCF front piece. It's painted silver and it's like $100, $120, something like that. It's very inexpensive. Or you can wrap it in fake carbon fiber, which is what I've done to mine temporarily until I have the new piece to put on. I just haven't put it on yet. So there are different things that you can do there. I would inspect this car to see if it has paint protection film on the front. And it looks like the majority of the common issues of this car have already been addressed. Carbon fiber's just starting to delaminate on that one panel. I would look closely at the others to make sure, but there's no dealer evidence that any of those have been replaced. So if they have been replaced, they've just been done out of pocket or something like that. And finally, of course, the big issue that's starting to plague these cars is the valley plate, the coolant valley plate leak. I would get a mechanical inspection done on this car, and I would look underneath the intake manifold with a scope, or have your mechanic look, inspect it very closely, make sure you don't see any pink crusty coolant. If that's the case, that can be a very expensive job. If you do it at the dealer, $2,000+. Not a lot of parts, but it's very labor intensive. You have to remove the intake manifold. You have to remove, well, there's a lot of stuff that has to come off. You have to remove the intake manifold, the injectors, things like that. There's lots of connectors that can potentially break, especially as these cars age and get heat cycled. So there's a lot that can potentially make that repair even more expensive. As I said, I think this is definitely one of the good ones. You've heard me talk about in some of these other videos, there are less than 1,000 GSFs for the US market left that are clean title, no accident cars, and this is of course one of them. So green flags with service history, other than the fact that it hasn't been Lexus service in the last 2 years. So the things coming up, you would probably have the 60,000 mile service that you'd want to do on it pretty soon. If you do that at the dealer, that can be over $2,000. That's spark plugs, belts, hoses, very in-depth inspection, doing the diff service, the transmission service. That can be a spendy service. The price on this car is right where it needs to be, but you may still have a few $1,000s that needs to be spent on it once you purchase it, especially with the maintenance, But do the usual, inspect the tires, look at the inside of the front tires for excessive wear. If that's the case, it will need lower control arms. So there's just a lot of the common things that you always have to look at for these cars needs to be looked at with this, but I would say for the most part, it looks pretty well sorted and ready to go. Let me know in the comments if you buy this, if you see this in the future and you're a future owner. Again, let me know in the comments. Got many more videos coming. Any of these cars that pop up for sale, I'll make sure that I do a deep dive on them. So that's what I have on this one, VIN 2605. Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.